You are welcome to Explains 102, where financial tips are made simple. There was a young man named Andrew who believed that all his financial problems had one simple solution: a bigger salary. Whenever he struggled to pay his bills, he would say, "If only I earned more money, my life would be different." Whenever he couldn't save, he blamed his income. Whenever he saw wealthy people enjoying financial freedom, he convinced himself that they were simply earning far more than he was. So Andrew worked harder than ever before. He accepted extra responsibilities at work, stayed late in the office, and even worked on weekends. After several years of dedication, his efforts paid off. He received a promotion along with a significant salary increase. For the first time in his life, Andrew felt that everything was about to change. He celebrated the promotion by buying a newer phone, moving into a more expensive apartment, upgrading his wardrobe, and financing a newer car. He believed he deserved to enjoy the rewards of his hard work. For a few months, life felt exciting. But something unexpected happened. Despite earning much more than before, Andrew still found himself worrying about money at the end of every month. His expenses had quietly grown alongside his income. Instead of feeling financially free, he felt trapped by bigger bills and greater responsibilities. One evening, while having dinner with his uncle, Andrew admitted his frustration. "I don't understand," he said. "A few years ago, I believed a higher salary would solve everything. Now I earn almost twice as much, but I still feel broke." His uncle smiled and asked him a simple question. "Andrew, when your salary increased, did your financial habits change?" Andrew remained silent. His uncle continued. "Most people spend their lives believing that earning more money automatically leads to wealth. It sounds reasonable, but it is one of the biggest financial lies people believe." Andrew looked puzzled. "If that isn't true," he asked, "then why do so many people with good salaries still struggle financially? And what really separates people who build wealth from those who simply earn more money?" Those questions changed the direction of their conversation. And they may also change the way you think about money. Today we're going to uncover one of the biggest financial lies that millions of people continue to believe, and more importantly, we'll discover the truth that can completely transform the way you manage money and build wealth. Andrew sat quietly, thinking about everything his uncle had said. For years, he had believed that money was the answer to every financial problem he faced. Whenever he couldn't save, he blamed his income. Whenever he struggled to pay his bills, he blamed his salary. Whenever he saw successful people, he assumed their lives were easier simply because they earned more. His uncle noticed the expression on Andrew's face and said, "Andrew, let me ask you another question. Have you ever met someone who earns a very high salary but is constantly complaining about money?" Andrew nodded immediately. "I know several people like that," he replied. "Some of them earn 3 or 4 times my salary, yet they still borrow money before the month ends." His uncle smiled. "And have you also met people who don't earn extraordinary incomes, yet they seem peaceful, financially stable, and always prepared for emergencies?" Andrew nodded again. "Exactly," his uncle continued. "That alone should tell you that income is not the whole story. The biggest financial lie people believe is this: if I earn more money, all my financial problems will disappear. It sounds reasonable because we naturally associate more money with fewer problems. While a higher income can certainly improve your standard of living, it does not automatically improve your financial habits. If those habits remain unchanged, the problems simply become bigger. Think about it this way. Imagine pouring clean water into a bucket that has several holes at the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, the bucket will never stay full until the holes are repaired. Money works in much the same way. A higher salary poured into poor financial habits is like pouring more water into a leaking bucket. The income increases, but the money continues to disappear because the habits have never changed. Many people spend years trying to increase their earnings while ignoring the habits that are quietly draining their finances every single day. One of the biggest examples of this is lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens when your spending rises every time your income rises. Someone receives a promotion and immediately moves into a more expensive apartment. A salary increase becomes an excuse to buy the latest phone, a luxury car, designer clothes, or expensive vacations. None of these things are necessarily wrong. The problem begins when every increase in income is matched by an equal or even greater increase in spending. As a result, the person earns more but never feels wealthier. Their financial pressure simply moves to a higher level. Instead of worrying about small bills, they now worry about bigger ones. Instead of paying off debt, they accumulate even more. Instead of building investments, they build expensive lifestyles. This is why many people who appear wealthy are actually living under enormous financial pressure. Their income may be impressive, but their financial foundation is weak. Andrew slowly realized that every salary increase he had ever received came with a new list of expenses. When he earned more, he upgraded his lifestyle instead of strengthening his financial future. He had mistaken comfort for wealth. His uncle then explained another important difference. There is a difference between making money and keeping money. Anyone can earn money, but not everyone knows how to keep it. Money only changes your life when you learn how to manage it. A person who earns 1 million naira but spends 1 million naira every month is no wealthier than someone earning far less. Wealth is not determined only by income. It is determined by what remains after your expenses and by how wisely you use what remains. This is where assets become important. Most financially successful people do not simply work for money. They use their income to acquire assets that continue producing value. These assets may include investments, businesses, valuable skills, rental properties, or other opportunities that generate income over time. While others spend all their earnings on things that lose value, they quietly build things that increase in value. That is one of the greatest differences between appearing rich and becoming wealthy. Andrew then asked, "So does that mean earning more money isn't important?" His uncle laughed. "No, earning more is always good. But earning more without changing your habits is like running faster in the wrong direction. You may be moving quickly, but you're still moving away from financial freedom." Those words completely changed Andrew's perspective. For the first time, he understood that money itself was never the problem. Money simply reveals the habits that already exist. If you are disciplined with a small income, you are more likely to remain disciplined with a larger one. If you waste a small income, receiving more money will often give you more opportunities to waste it. That is why financial education matters so much. Schools teach us how to earn a living. Our professions teach us how to perform our jobs. But very few people are taught how to manage money, build assets, understand investments, control spending, or prepare for the future. Without financial education, even intelligent and hardworking people can spend their entire lives chasing money without ever achieving financial freedom. Andrew finally understood the truth. His greatest need was not another promotion. His greatest need was a new way of thinking about money. Because the biggest financial lie was never that money is bad. The biggest financial lie was believing that more money automatically creates more wealth. The truth is far more powerful. Wealth is created when higher income is combined with financial wisdom, discipline, patience, and intentional decisions. Money can increase your opportunities. But only wisdom can turn those opportunities into lasting wealth. Practical lessons. Andrew's story teaches us that the biggest financial breakthrough does not begin with a bigger paycheck, it begins with a better mindset. The first practical lesson is to stop believing that more money will automatically solve your financial problems. Instead, focus on developing the habits that allow money to stay and grow. Income can improve your lifestyle, but only wisdom can improve your financial future. The second lesson is to live below your means. Every time your income increases, resist the temptation to immediately increase your spending. Rather than upgrading everything in your life, use part of the extra income to save, invest, pay off debt, or build assets. Financial freedom is often achieved not by earning the most, but by keeping and growing what you earn. Another important lesson is to make financial education a lifelong priority. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch educational videos, and learn from people who have successfully built wealth. The more you understand how money works, the better equipped you will be to make wise financial decisions. Knowledge is one of the few investments that continues to pay dividends throughout your life. Finally, remember that wealth is built through consistency. You do not need to become rich overnight. Small decisions, saving regularly, investing patiently, avoiding unnecessary debt, and spending intentionally may seem insignificant today, but over time they create extraordinary results. Great wealth is often the product of ordinary habits practiced faithfully for many years. As we conclude, remember this: money is a powerful tool, but it cannot replace discipline, wisdom, and good financial habits. The biggest financial lie is believing that earning more is enough. The truth is that lasting wealth belongs to those who learn to manage, multiply, and protect what they earn. If you enjoyed this lesson, subscribe to Explains 102 and discover how money works, how wealth is built, and how you can make smarter financial decisions that transform your future. Because understanding money is the first step toward mastering it.